I'm so excited. Very, very excited. You know why? This is an exclusive one on Beyond Entertainment Show with PVO. And guess what is going on? It's about the train. We've been seeing the train movies, the story of one man, Michael Abayomi Bamiloye. This is the same movie that, in just 2 weeks, 1 million views. Is breaking record to the glory of God, and for about 2 weeks, number one trending movie in the whole of Nigeria. Is our God not good? And that's why my crew and I decided to pay a visit to D Baba himself, Damilola Mike-Bamiloye. We just decided, let's hear from the horse's mouth. Dami, kílódé tó fi shoot movie eléyìí?
I've had that vision a long time ago to write a story about Mount Zion, the genesis of Mount Zion. So it's been a passion, it's been a vision, but the execution looked impossible. But I just believe that before, people need to know that there is before any glory that people can see, before you see the glory, before you see what the greatness of men, there's always a story behind the glory. You know, I think that is more important. It's more important for people to understand and know about this story. So I think the train is a message that I believe that God wants to reveal to the world. You know, people see the glory, people see the testimonies, people see the great things happening, but they don't know the secrets. They don't know the sacrifices that our fathers have made, you know. So I think it's also a message for we young ministers to understand that before any manifestation, before any great manifestation, there are sacrifices that needs to be paid. You know, there are seeds that need to be, you need to sow some seeds. So I think that's an important aspect that the train is here to address.
And this is Beyond Entertainment. And this is Beyond Entertainment with PVO.
My name is Damilola Mike-Bamiloye. I'm the writer and producer and the director of photography for the movie The Train.
And this is Beyond Entertainment.
Of course, the story is a challenging story. You know, the initial challenge, the basic challenge I think I was going to have was the financial aspect, because I was thinking, this is a different kind of story. We are backdating now, going back to the past and shooting a story, you know, that you have to consider the costumes, you have to consider the sets, you have to consider so many factors. So writing the story was it was faith-based to me, in the sense that I was just believing and trusting God that God will provide somehow, and I didn't know how it was going to happen, you know. So I think the major aspect of writing the story is getting the accuracy of events. That's the major aspect. But let me even finish the aspect of the financial aspect. But somehow God surprised us on set, because people came on set with stuffs. People were bringing foodstuffs. People were bringing costumes. You know, that's how God just provided. God just made everything smooth. And so all my fears were just gone. God just took complete control, you know. So that was how the financial aspect was kind of handled, you know. But, you know, to me, the execution of the train and getting the accuracy was the major challenge, you know. So there are times the story had to go to different drafts. I wrote the first draft. I shared it with Dad. Dad said, "This is not the story of my life." You know, you had to, this is what happened. And I was sharing the story from the things I've heard. You know, I wrote the story from the things I heard. But Dad said, no, this is not the story of my life. You have to go through, this is what happened, this is what happened. We wrote the second draft, you know. So Daddy called me again, tell us your story, let's share the story scene by scene. We have to narrate the story. And he said, no. Then I had to go back again, you know, getting information from Adesina. 2 weeks to location, we are still correcting scripts. We are still changing things. We are still changing just to get the accuracy of everything, you know. So initially when we got on set and we were shooting, everything looked so normal, looked so simple. We were just shooting as we were shooting normal film. But when the film came out, we discovered that God just, you know, God released His anointing on it, and God's hand was heavy on the project, and it was going everywhere.
Ìwọ ń tiẹ̀, ṣé ó sọ fún ẹ pé òun ti fi ṣẹ́lẹ̀ òun fẹ́ máa lọ ṣe àwọn eléré alárìnjó káàkiri?
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mà, drama mà.
Drama mà.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mà, àjọmọ̀ wa ni.
Ó dẹ̀ fara mọ́.
Ó mọ̀ sí mọ́mì, ó mọ̀ sí.
Àjọmọ̀ yín ni. Jọ, báwo lẹni tí oníṣẹ́ ṣe fẹ́ tọ́jú ọjà rẹ̀?
And this is beyond entertainment.
I think it's the Holy Spirit. It's the Holy Spirit. It was the one that gave the drive, to be honest. It was the one that gave the courage, the encouragement. Particularly that 2 weeks to film shoots, when Daddy called me, and I thought everything was settled already. I thought the script was settled. Daddy just called me, said, let us share the story again. So I started from scene 1, this is what happened, scene 2. I got to scene 3, he said, no, that didn't happen. In scene 3, okay. I took notes. Scene 4, I didn't even finish sharing the story before they started telling me everything. I felt so discouraged. But I knew something was encouraging me, and that is the Holy Spirit. You know, I had this peace, you know. So I think that was what inspired us to keep on moving, regardless of the whole thing. And when Daddy watched the film, he was overwhelmed. And I looked to the right, and I saw a little tear coming out from Daddy's eyes. I knew that, yes, God has done it. Because there's nothing, writing a biopic of something, the issue is, the people are still alive. Every one of them are still alive, except for Mama Obimbe. That's my mom's mom, you know. Everyone, Mama Adikweju is alive, Dad is alive, by God's grace, Mom is alive, everybody's alive. So everybody is seeing the reality of things. Everybody is seeing their history, you know. And nobody wants a wrong story. Nobody wants a faulty story. But no, so seeing that this came out and it addressed those issues, the history, and it still blessed lives, I think it's inspirational for me.
And this is beyond entertainment.
I was scared even on the day of the movie, on the day of the shoot. I was just smiling up and down. You know, there's something about smiling that covering up. When you're smiling, that's a way of covering up your fears and everything. But I had fears, to be honest. But I knew one thing, that God will not lead us into a project that He will not get us out of. And that has been my key word. Anytime I enter a project like this, that I know is bigger than me, I know He will not lead me into this project if He won't get me out of it. Because He was not that gave the instruction, He was not that gave the inspiration, but the scripts to be ready, and you know, it was all God. So from the Genesis has been God. That means the revelation it to be God. You know, so that was the motivation for me. But I won't lie, I was scared. Like, would this happen? What happens if everything just went? What's going to happen? So I was scared. 2 days in location, I was scared. On the day of location, I was scared until we started shooting. I called action. I knew that okay, we started.
And this is beyond entertainment.
Initially, I thought I was going to direct the script. But after I finished writing the script, I told myself, if I direct the script, I'll go crazy on set, because when you are seeing cast and everything, how are you going to conduct everything? How are you going to handle camera? And there was a different camera I was using, so nobody has really handled the camera before. So I said, let me just focus on the camera and get directors that will handle this project. You know, so I believe the best director, again, to call are people who have first-time experience, who have real-hand experience in the story, who experience the story too. People like that, Damilola Mike-Bamiloye was part of the story. He understood the story. in fact, on set was correcting me and telling me some things that, look, okay, damn it, this actually didn't happen this way, but we can actually let it go this way. This can happen. This is okay. This is okay. This actually happened. This, you know. So we needed people who were part of the experience, people who were part of the time, you know. So that was where Daddy Yemi Adepoju and Daddy Isaac came in, you know, because they understood that time. I wasn't existing that time, so I didn't really know what happened that time, you know. So but they understood that time. They understood what led to that time. They are in a better position to tell that story better than I would ever tell that story, even though I wrote the story, you know. So that's the reason I believe that they were the best directors, and they did amazingly well. Amazingly, they were awesome, because the Spirit of God is just one. Some things I will not say, but they've already picked up. Even without telling them, they are actually acting out or materializing the things that are already on my mind. That's how amazing it was. Sometimes I wrote some scenes that I knew was going to be very difficult to direct. That if I was to direct that scene, I would have to pull away and think very well before executing that scene. So I knew that scene was a trap. But so I would deliberately relax and watch how they will bring out this trap into reality. And God helped them. You know, they maneuvered and they were able to bring out everything. I did amazing. It was wonderful. Give God the glory for everything.
And this is beyond entertainment.
The Train, to be honest with you, was one of my most difficult movies that I've ever shot. Because, you know, we have to talk about getting the cast ready, getting the right props, getting the right sets, and at the same time, we are running with time, because I'm also the producer. We are working with time. You don't want the time to, you don't want to waste too much time. So you are having conflict in your mind, but you don't want to express this conflict. Conflict with the set designer, conflict with the costume designer, and everything was like, hey, time. So that was the major challenge for me. But you know, the amazing thing about The Train was that some of the sets were made there already. They were already there. God provided them already. There are some scenes, like Mama Iyalenu's room. Iyalenu's room was already there. No set designer did that one. All they did was to just sweep the floor. The bed was already there. The curtain was already there. God already provided that set for us. So all we did was we swept the floor, we shot, and we got out. Some other sets too were already provided there. We didn't do much. So I think God's favor is very important in film location. So when people are saying that, The Train, costume, the department, the set is top notch and everything, me, I know that some of those sets I didn't provide them. I didn't even have the budget for them, but God did that, you know. So another amazing thing again was while we were shooting, we had to pause. I didn't know the film. I was just writing. I didn't know that. I thought 10 days we accommodate all those 120 scenes. I thought we could rush it, you know. But I knew that was a challenge, because when we started shooting, day one, we were only able to cover 6 scenes out of 10, 15 scenes. So I knew that we are in for it. But we started anyway, and we started going and everything. So I knew from day 2, I knew we cannot finish this thing in 10 days. Then an amazing thing happened again was that my wife gave birth to our baby girl. You know, initially the EDD was supposed to be later on, not even in the midst of location. That was why we were able to select that week.
And this is beyond entertainment.
So I was shooting the sister gossiping scene. As I was shooting the scene, my mom called and said that Joshua whispered to me that Mommy wants to talk to you. But before then, I tried to call Ella, I tried to call my mom, I tried to call my dad. Nobody was picking up. I was worried. But I knew God would take care of my business. The God that led me to this location will take care of my business. Because I went to know my wife was doing, because she was heavy, she was pregnant. Then Joshua whispered, Mommy wanted to talk to you. As I was shooting that scene, Mommy wanted to talk to you. So I went to the room, I picked up the phone, and Mommy just shouted, Dami, you are now a father, Baba, you. I was hearing my baby cry. I was just misbehaving, I didn't know. I was just screaming, shouting, laughing. The laughter, I've never had that kind of laugh before. But hearing Gloria's voice was just as if I was spiritually tickled. I was laughing. I was mesmerized. I was so excited, you know. The next day, I couldn't concentrate. I was just shooting different kind of off shooting. I had to pause the location. I said, brethren, until I commit this location to God's hand, I have to go to Ibadan and attend to something very important. And everybody were happy for me. I had to tell them, my wife has given birth. Hey! So they released me. I went straight to Ibadan to see Gloria. I hugged Ella, I squeezed Gloria, I played with Gloria small. Then we got back again and continued shooting. Then we had to have a pause, then we went for the naming ceremony, came back again, you know. So this location was my most challenging location ever.
And this is beyond entertainment.
What happened was, for some of the cast, I thought the best thing to do was to allow Daddy select the cast himself, Daddy and Mommy, because they are the pivotal role, the pivotal character in the movie. So what I did was I had a list of casts, particularly for Brother Mike. The challenge was getting Sister Gloria, person that will act Sister Shola. But for Brother Mike, I tried to think again, who actually looks like Daddy in character, not in character, but in look, in the outlook, who looks like Mike-Bamiloye? And I didn't really see. I was looking around. So something amazing happened. We were in the retreat. As we were praying, the Mozart Empowerment Retreat, as we were praying, I heard the Holy Spirit told me that, the Holy Spirit was telling me that the cast you are looking for, they are somewhere here. They are here. You don't need to look far. The major cast you need for the train, they are right here. So I remember that time I just called meeting with some of my friends, Damilola, I think Evangelist Studiowa was there. A few people were there. Someone else was there. I can't remember. We had few people gathered together and were talking about this project. Like, look, who can we cast for this? Who can we cast? So different people are giving ideas and everything. What I did was like I had a list of different casts. I think for Bro Mike, Bro Shell's name was part of it. But still, I couldn't just picture Bro Shell looking like Daddy Mike. It's dark, yes, but looking like him. The face, the head, they don't look alike. So I told that these are the list of casts that I'm able to pin out for Bro Mike. Which one do you want to choose out of this cast? And Daddy said, let's give it to Shell. Let Shell act. I said, okay, fine. So the same thing for Mommy too. I said, Mommy, who do you want to cast? I have this person, I said, who do you wish to cast, act you? Mommy didn't say anybody. No, I don't want any of these sisters. Who I'm thinking that look like me, small, is Tolu Mike-Bamiloye. I was like, Tolu is, why would you, initially I was like, why would you choose Tolu? Tolu is your mother, so the daughter-in-law. But I was like, okay, fine. So, but when I told Sharon was like, oh, it is well, because I'm sure he was scared to take in that kind of character. But still, I didn't still believe that Sharon looked like that. But something amazing happened. I told Sharon, I said, maybe you should go and tell that to just pray for you so that at least the anointing, impactation will come on you. Somehow, something will happen. So I think Sharon went to meet Daddy. He was so scared. I could see in his face. he was shivering. So he went to meet Dad, and Dad prayed for him. And Dad said, God will be with you. God's anointing will be upon you. And Dad prayed for him. And amazingly, when Sharon came on set and started acting, it may not look like Daddy physically, but I was seeing Daddy's character come out. In his composure, the way he was smiling, in everything. So I discovered that it was not about the physical look, it's about more of the spirit. Sometimes the spirit has a way of overshadowing the physical. So that's one amazing thing that happened. Shane was acting like Daddy, and I was seeing Daddy when Shane was acting. And immediately Shane finished the train, he became Shane again. So I wanted to see that Daddy character, but it's gone. So amazing, So that's for Shane and Sister Shola. But for the other characters, like the young boy, we had somebody, they said they had someone for us in Elisha who could speak Elisha well. We traveled down to Elisha to look at this person. We discovered that this person could not act well. He couldn't deliver those lines. It's too heavy for him. So I was scared and I was worried. Then two people started telling me about this young man. They said, this little boy, Shupofo's son. Mr. Wa told me about him. Another person else told me about him. Then we started to just call him. And we gave him his script, 2 days to location. And we didn't give him the script. We gave the dad. And the dad said, it is well. God will help him. And the dad started training him, praying with him and everything. And he came on set. The wonderful thing about the training is that when we were on set, there was no glory. We were just acting. Everybody was doing, it's like the normal thing we do. We're acting the way, I didn't see anything professional about any of us, But after, when it came out, I think that was when God poured out His Spirit and poured out His glory on everything, all the characters, and even the film. God breathed into it. God released His breath into it, and it came out and blessed lives. So I think it's beyond professionalism. It's beyond skill. It's more of the Spirit of God. I discovered that it's actually the Spirit of God that brings excellence. Even if you get the professionals to act this thing, and the Spirit of God is missing, it may come out, but it won't reach as far as it goes, because it's actually the Spirit of God that takes it far.
And this is beyond entertainment.
I wasn't expecting it at all. Because we've done so many wonderful films in the past too. We've done great films in the past, So from my physical experience, I know how much views a film should have, a new film from Mozart should have within a specific time. I know I've calculated it from my time, because we've done so many, I've called people to talk about a film before, and the film didn't really trend at all. I've even done something very funny that God dealt with me. I've called some popular people. I said, please talk about my film on your Instagram. Just talk about it. I give them the film to watch. They watch the film. They say, wow, amazing film. They talked about it on their platform and everything, but that film didn't trend, and that's the least trended. That film didn't go anywhere. So God used that film to actually deal with me. God dealt with me with that experience. So there was nothing we did for the train that made it to trend. That's the funniest thing. I think God just took complete control. When God is involved in something, He takes it beyond. He takes it from your hand and He handles it Himself. So I didn't expect it. I didn't know it was going to go that far.
And this is beyond entertainment.
God, whenever a child of God passes through any experience, it's a script. As you said earlier, it's a script written by God for that child of God. Because you don't know your life, you don't know who your life will bless later on. When Daddy Mike was passing through all those experiences, those difficult times, those times where you have to shed tears, leave one school and go to another school, leave his job and go, he didn't know that it was a script that was written down. God is writing down those scripts. And if he had failed to walk in the path that God wanted him to walk in, he would have cancelled the script, the eternal script that God has for him. And we won't have been able to shoot the train, and the train will not be a blessing to lives now. But because he walked, by God's grace, was able to walk according to the script, he was able to act out the script that God has written for him. By acting it out, God reserved it and said, later, don't worry, your seed will tell the story. So I've come to realize that our life now is a script. How we learn to do it will tell whether people in the future will be blessed by our lives or not. It will tell whether our seed will tell our story or not. So we have to be careful. Because you may not know. You may not know. You may have missed it along the line. When God said, go this way, and you say, because of your own common sense, you say, no, I'm not going to go this way. I want to water my own path. And you go that way. A script is cut short. According to God's, filmmaking business, something is cut short that in future it can never be projected again. So I think we should live our life with that consciousness that God has written a script for us. Ours is to act that script, so that later on God will produce that script Himself and release it for the whole world to hear. We hear of stories from Daddy Gio, Daddy Deboye, Dadu Yidipo, we hear their stories, and their stories are a blessing to us now. It's because they've acted the role that God has written for them, and they acted it well. So we younger generations, beyond the manifestation, beyond all the miracles and all the great things that God is doing for us, our secret life is very important. We should make sure that we act that script out, the script that God has written for us. We should act it out. The instructions that God has given to us, we should obey them, so that later on, our seed, later on in the future, some people will take up our story and say, this story is a blessing to me. Because this person made it, I will also make it.
And this is beyond entertainment.
At the point before even getting the sound, he was already getting discouraged. Music was not coming. Inspiration was not coming.
It was terrible. I had produced about 5, 6, 7 different types of sound that I kept losing inspiration halfway. So it got so intense that I was weak. So at that point I received it after I had done about 8, 9. I had done 9 that were okay. It now became time to now even do the theme song, but I was already weak. So at that point I felt led to invite Lawrence Oyo, and then he came. It's a whole new different story. I don't want to go into the story of how that one happened. But long story short, God helped us to come up with something. And after he had gone, I now had inspiration for like several others again. That while we're laying the sound, other sounds were coming. And then the sound that came while I were in like scene 10 of laying the sound, a sound came that night that became the main sound for the most emotional part of the film. How God did it, in fact.
Will you walk on this journey of faith? We're on the train going to heaven. We're on the journey of faith. And when our life here is over, we will answer to God. And this is beyond entertainment.
This is so deep. The story of just one man. It's so obvious that God himself wrote this script, just like he's writing the script of your life right now. And that's why it's not good to run away from his presence, because the story will end in glory one day. The train, as we have heard Damilola speak to us, has taught us so many lessons. For me, I have learned that the grace of God is the ultimate. Grace is number one. For the drama ministry, for the gospel filmmakers, we have come to realize and to know that it is not about known faces. It's not about anything. This is just about God. For me, I believe that God himself put his grace and his spirit upon this movie and blew it everywhere. Because Dami said, when they were on set, it was just like normal kind of movie, but we can see what God can do. The train has taught us to depend on him and on him always. Thank you very much. My name remains Victor Lukoju, PVO. This is Beyond Entertainment Show with me, PVO. Till I come your way, next time we'll be bringing in another guest. God bless you. Keep moving. Enter the train of God and let's move.
More than entertainment, beyond the applause of men, we seek for something valuable, and that is the soul of man, yeah. And that is the soul of man. Men and women, so down for God. And this is beyond entertainment. And this is beyond entertainment. Beyond entertainment.
Keep watching Beyond Entertainment Show with PVO.